We tell you the story of an object from space that no one knows what it is. It approached Earth, then flew towards the sun and came back. The famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson warns of the sudden return of Oumuamua, and we all need to prepare ourselves to know that this object is no longer alone. Since its discovery, Oumuamua has caused confusion, and we may be on the verge of discovering an extraterrestrial intelligence that regularly invades our solar system, only no one has noticed. In 2017, the world of astrophysics was turned upside down. Astronomers in Hawaii discovered an object that was approaching our planet at breakneck speed. It then narrowly missed Earth, and its path took this alien visitor close to the sun. There, it suddenly reversed course and came back. The excitement over this strange flying object was great, and the best scientists debated who or what this object really was. Neil deGrasse Tyson stepped into the heated debate and warned against jumping to conclusions that could endanger the safety of the entire planet. In a recent press conference, the popular astrophysicist announced that Oumuamua might no longer be alone, accompanied by previously unknown objects. The return raises new questions about the nature and origin of the interstellar visitor. After the object's discovery, many people were greatly concerned. What if an alien species had come to us? While many would like to make contact with other forms of life in space, we also fear the unknown and cannot be sure that visitors from interstellar realms will always be friendly to us. The worst fears regarding Oumuamua were that it was an alien spaceship flying through our solar system, well camouflaged to spy on us. Tyson is known for his ability to translate complex astronomical concepts into language understandable to everyone. He explained the most common theories and showed which of these is the most likely explanation. Oumuamua is not alone. Imagine the fascination with Oumuamua this way. A telescope discovers an object that looks like an asteroid, but it quickly becomes clear that it is not an asteroid. The object flies too fast and follows a path not determined by the gravity of our sun. Otherwise, all objects in the solar system are determined by our star. Planets, asteroids, comets, rocks, everything is arranged harmoniously and reasonably predictably around our sun. But then an object passes through the solar system and does not follow these rules. What is it? Researchers were able to explain the object's unusual trajectory only by the fact that it came to us from outside the solar system. Now, if such an object is of natural origin, it should operate according to the physical rules of the solar system from the moment it crosses the threshold, but Oumuamua does not. Either this object was accelerated by a source external to our solar system that exerted such a force that the acceleration was stronger than the gravitational pull of our sun, or Oumuamua has a technological engine. This latter hypothesis would mean that the object was controlled, but by whom? The trajectory showed an origin somewhere in the constellation Lyra. If this were correct, Oumuamua would have been traveling toward us for about 300,000 years, but Oumuamua could also come from an intermediate point between Lyra and our sun, from an alien world where things are happening that we do not understand. Neil deGrasse Tyson considers it possible that Oumuamua is a spaceship, but again calls for caution. Until we are sure, we must consider other theories. Tyson insists that Oumuamua might not be an isolated case. There could be numerous objects like Oumuamua in our solar system, but we have not seen them yet. Scientists estimate that there could be, on average, one interstellar object in our solar system every 333 astronomical units. One astronomical unit corresponds to the distance between the Earth and the Sun, about 150 million kilometers. This estimate suggests that our solar system is regularly crossed by these interstellar visitors. If they are probes or spaceships, it means there is a lot of air traffic in our area without us noticing. Oumuamua presents itself as an elongated, cigar-like object that showed unexpected acceleration as it moved away from the sun. It can be thought of as a bit like a rabbit making a hook. The asteroids and comets in our solar system do not do this. They fly in fixed orbits. After the turning maneuver, Oumuamua came back. It was as if this object wanted to make one last visit before leaving the solar system for an unknown destination. It is surprising in this context that many UFO sightings report that these objects had a cigar shape. Some of these objects were sighted above the football stadium in Florence in the 1950s. The incident is considered one of the greatest mass sightings of spaceships in human history, and the vast majority of eyewitnesses reported large, cigar-shaped objects. Oumuamua could be a first contact attempt or perhaps a spaceship off course or out of control. The proof? The speed. The unusual speed of Oumuamua is one of the most fascinating and puzzling characteristics of this interstellar object. When astronomers first observed Oumuamua, they found it was traveling through our solar system at the incredible speed of about 315,000 km/h. This speed is far greater than that of asteroids or comets, and even our fastest probes are quite slow compared to this. The speed and unusual acceleration led renowned scientists to hypothesize that Oumuamua might not be a natural astronomical phenomenon, but perhaps an artificial object. This hypothesis was further fueled by the unusual shape and lack of a visible cometary tail. The combination of high speed, inexplicable acceleration, and unusual shape made Oumuamua a possible candidate for the first official discovery of extraterrestrial technology in our solar system. Avi Loeb and Shmuel Bialy of Harvard University were the first to state in an article what many had only thought: Oumuamua is most likely a technology and not a natural visitor. However, the theory has a catch. It was not possible to detect any propulsion on Oumuamua. No engine hum, no fuel release, heated gases, or other evidence that could suggest a propulsion system as we know it. Loeb and Bialy found a fascinating explanation for the phenomenon. Oumuamua uses some kind of light sail and accelerates by minimizing the emission of particles reflected from the sail. If this were true, the propulsion technology would be ingenious. The two Harvard scientists cited as evidence the unusual elongated shape and the fluctuations in Oumuamua's brightness. According to the scientists, both indicate a flat, reflective object. Neil deGrasse Tyson, however, has a different opinion. He commented on Loeb's work and the publications on Oumuamua with the words, "Loeb didn't do all his homework before publishing his theory." What did the well-known astrophysicist and science communicator mean by that? Tyson began by emphasizing the importance of a solid and evidence-based approach to science. He stresses that Loeb and Bialy's theories are fascinating but not sufficiently supported by current data and comparable observations. Tyson reminds us of the need to adopt an open but critical attitude toward extraterrestrial explanations. The scientific contributions of Loeb and Bialy and Tyson's words of caution show us the tension and complexity involved in interpreting unknown phenomena like Oumuamua. The discussions have stimulated but also divided the scientific community. Meanwhile, the public has shown little interest in scientific debates. Newspaper headlines around the world about the first spaceship in our solar system have mainly sparked colorful speculation about extraterrestrial life. Is Oumuamua a dusty rabbit? A completely different model takes us away from ideas about fantastic extraterrestrial civilizations or the fear of unpredictable alien espionage. The dusty rabbit model questions the possibility that Oumuamua is an entirely new class of interstellar objects that are simply a collection of dust and gas. In simple terms, this would mean that Oumuamua is a dust cloud crossing our solar system like a flying carpet. Dust bunnies are said to be objects made of extremely porous material and react unusually to the radiation pressure of sunlight. This could explain unusual movement patterns like the observed acceleration of Oumuamua. In practice, such a dust bunny is something like an extremely porous comet without a visible cometary tail. There could be many such objects drifting in space and crossing our solar system. We can only see them now because our telescopes have become much more efficient. Or maybe a nitrogen iceberg? Let's look together at another interesting theory that hypothesizes that Oumuamua might be a fragment of a planet similar to Pluto. This planet could be somewhere in another star system, and like our Pluto, is mainly composed of molecular nitrogen ice. The idea of a nitrogen iceberg could explain at least some of Oumuamua's unusual properties, such as unexpected acceleration and unusual shape. Nitrogen ice would pass from a solid state directly to a gaseous state when approaching the Sun, which could cause acceleration similar to Oumuamua and could also explain why this object had no visible tail like typical comets. In this case, a massive cosmic event like the collision of two planets would have flung the piece from its home planet and propelled it at enormous speed directly into our solar system. At the Sun, the debris was then accelerated in an unusual way by the aforementioned sublimation of nitrogen. The fact remains that we still do not know what Oumuamua really is. It could be a known natural phenomenon, a technology, or something completely different. To find out, we would have to chase the object. But here we run into a small problem. We do not have a probe fast enough to catch up with Oumuamua. However, some enterprising scientists might have found a solution. A favorable constellation of our planets could still accelerate a probe so that it reaches Oumuamua sometime after 2040. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated.